When you place furniture in a room based purely on what looks aesthetically pleasing, the space will rapidly fail. Bottlenecks form, people collide, and everyday tasks become difficult. That happens because interior design is actually a rigorous, structured strategy of problem solving. It utilizes both art and science to generate, evaluate, and implement solutions within built environments. The final aesthetic of a space, the colors, the fabrics, the layout, is simply the visual byproduct of successfully solving a complex, multivariable equation based entirely on human data. Relying on intuitive guesswork for spatial layouts leads to biological and operational failure because guesswork ignores the highly measurable realities of human interaction. Designers rely on a sequential process, visualized as a central funnel. Abstract data enters the wide top, is filtered, and a structured floor plan emerges. This methodology breaks down into 8 strict steps: commit, state, collect, analyze, ideate, choose, implement, and evaluate. The industry uses a simple mnemonic to memorize this exact sequence. Come see Circus Acts in Chicago involving elephants. To see how this works in practice, we are going to fix a crowded, highly inefficient medical testing clinic. The baseline goals are strict: reduce patient anxiety, decrease waiting times, and fulfill regional safety protocols. We will push this specific clinic through the 8-step funnel to see exactly how raw data dictates the placement of physical walls. Adhering to this sequential methodology guarantees the resulting architecture reliably serves user needs over time. The process begins in the collect phase. Long before anyone picks up a pencil to draw a floor plan, space planning demands a rigorous tracking of human activity. Designers map out occupant metrics, the exact number of workers, patients, and variations over time, and pair that with activity mapping to track the explicit human functions taking place inside the space. In the analyze phase, data is organized via a functional zoning strategy into 3 operational sectors: social zones, private zones, and support zones. Adjacency needs force these zones into specific configurations, like positioning a triage room requiring daylight against exterior windows. This step maps out critical interrelationships. It clearly distinguishes primary structural constraints, like plumbing access, from secondary options, like flooring materials. Programmatic data analysis removes subjective choices from space planning. It forces the architectural layout to adhere strictly to operational reality. Inside the ideate phase, the physical limitations of the human body act as rigid constraints on the emerging layout. Anthropometrics is the scientific study of the explicit measurements and moving proportions of the human body across varying demographics. Applying anthropometric data to the clinic establishes standard heights for triage countertops and dictates the exact proper clearances in narrow hallways so staff can walk side by side without crowding. Ergonomics applies that static data to optimize equipment for human health. For administrative stations, this means specifying high-performance task seating with dynamic tilting flexible shells that physically adapt to support multiple postures, directly reducing repetitive strain injuries. Beyond physical data, designing successful spaces requires mapping psychological parameters, specifically proxemics and the concept of territoriality. Humans have an innate psychological urge to protect a defined microspace of their own. To reduce anxiety, the layout utilizes independent armchairs with dividers instead of long sofas, preventing personal space bubbles from overlapping. Failing to map these distinct biological and behavioral metrics structurally breaks the built environment, rendering the space actively hostile to the people using it. During the choose phase, conceptual layouts are critically evaluated against strict legal codes to guarantee barrier-free access. The Americans with Disabilities Act, guided by the Universal Standard Document ANSI A117.1, establishes non-negotiable geometric standards. These ensure impaired individuals can safely enter, navigate, and escape a structure. This compliance table specifies baseline spatial requirements for universal navigation. It defines the exact math required for turning radii and restroom compliance. A standard wheelchair user requires a 60-inch minimum clear floor area to turn. Countertop heights must sit between 28 and 30 inches, with open knee clearance. And entry ramps are locked to a maximum slope of 1 foot rise for every 12 feet run. Enforcing these rigid geometric minimums instantly filters out weak conceptual layouts, leaving only the most effective spatial synthesis on the table. Legal compliance is a primary structural filter that dictates final architectural viability from the ground up. The implement and evaluate phases translate approved conceptual choices into physical reality. Materials selected here act as highly functional building blocks, deployed to control environmental metrics like acoustic absorption and air safety. The nurse's triage station utilizes seamless solid surfaces like acrylic-based corian. This material is impervious to water, highly stain-resistant, and easily molded, hitting the exact performance criteria required for medical sanitation and high structural impact. Conversely, the waiting area incorporates commercial textiles woven from synthetic fibers to introduce acoustic absorption and physical softness into an otherwise static, hard enclosure. The implementation phase also incorporates gerontological planning, establishing design parameters tailored specifically for the deteriorating visual and physical acuity of aging populations. Designing tactile and lighting safety paths along low door cells, transition stairs, and unexpected structural corners dramatically reduces fall risks. Furniture configurations strictly avoid sharp, exposed edges. Seating models must feature thick, structurally supportive arms to provide solid leverage points for elderly individuals standing up or sitting down safely. Every physical finish and fixture placed in the clinic is a calculated engineering tool deployed to sustain human operations. The finished clinic looks aesthetically cohesive. But peel back the surface materials, and you see the color-coded functional zones beneath. You see the strict ADA minimums holding the structure together, and the invisible psychological parameters dictating the placement of every chair. This process operates as a continuous feedback loop. It culminates in a post-occupancy evaluation, where designers return to the site months later to track the real-world performance against the initial baseline data. Interior design is a rigorous, constraint-based science. It takes human biometrics, behavior, and legal limits and translates them into physical boundaries. The most successful and visually stunning environments are simply spaces where the complex equation of human needs has been perfectly solved.